Good evening, folks, and welcome back to Rhetoric 306 at the University of Texas. It is still me, Dr. Jennifer Sapio. It is week 5 of our asynchronous course together, and I am thrilled to have you this week watching the video. Thank you for being here. We are going to discuss this week peer reviewing Project 1, which is due today. So thank you all so much for your hard work on that document set about water quality in Texas, and we're going to move on to Project 2, so get ready. First things first, peer review. I would love to offer the opportunity for you all to get some feedback from a partner for your Project 1 reports, which you all turned in today. So in order to get that done asynchronously, I have set up a channel over on Discord where you can meet up there and match with a partner of your choice. You can arrange to exchange papers with one another, set up a direct message, exchange email, text, however you want to meet up via Zoom, on campus, completely your choice. Exchange papers, read one another's work, give feedback, and then exchange feedback. That's the peer review process, simple as it can be. Of course, I've already encouraged everyone to use the wonderful resources of the University Writing Center to have an extra set of eyes on your work, but peer review is just an additional, absolutely excellent resource to take advantage of. You know, the attention and time and great ideas of your classmates. So please head over to Discord and start matching for a partner for peer review over there. In fact, do I want to go to Discord now? Yeah, I do want to go to Discord. Follow me over to Discord for just a moment. So here we are over in the Discord server, and as I mentioned, I set up a text channel here for peer review. Folks who are interested in peer review can go ahead and match here, but I also wanted to show you, just as a reminder, this Hot Topics text channel, which we had started a couple of weeks ago, but I wanted to remind you as we move into our research unit, and as you'll see in a moment when I show you Project 2 in the description of the assignment, you'll see that you have the opportunity to research a local issue of your choice. So I wanted to remind folks of this brainstorming and pre-writing work that you've already completed over here on the Discord server in the Hot Topics channel. Scroll through and check out what folks are interested in. You still have time to add your hot topics over here. Mask mandates, border control and immigration, abortion laws, Delta-driven infection spread across Texas, war in Afghanistan, and gun control are some of the things that folks have been interested in so far. And let's go ahead now and head over to talk about some of the specifics of what this Project 2, this research project for you all to be able to explore some of these topics is going to look like. Okay, so here we are back at the slides, and we have just a breakdown, quickly an outline or a preview of our next unit ahead. And this is going to take the next 3 to 4 weeks of our course timeline, so you get a good sense of where we're headed. Project 2 asks us to rhetorically analyze a local argument. So Project 1 had us looking all together at the same document set. We were all looking at those 4 articles about water quality from the New Yorker, New York Times, the Midland Telegram Reporter, and the Austin American Statesman. And then you all found that 5th source and added it to your report for last week. For Project 2, you all are going to be choosing an individual research topic of your choice. And so I expect to see as many different research questions as there are students in the class, and you will be providing the document set to me, that you will be researching. So you will collect not 4 or 5, but 8 sources, as you can see here on the screen, that you will research and select. And the breakdown you can see as well is 4 viewpoint or opinion pieces, 2 information articles, and 2 scholarly or peer-reviewed works. And we're going to get into today how to decipher between these types of materials and where to find them using the library's resources. So let's go ahead and start to visualize, if you will, the research process that we are embarking on together during this unit. So as you can see here with this figure from chapter 12 of your textbook, which you are going to be reading for this week, chapter 12 is on the research process, which you can see here is a cyclical series of steps that organically build on and grow from one another and sometimes bring you right back to the beginning where you started, as it should be. Okay, so we are today, this week, going to generate some initial research keywords from some of those topics that you all had indicated on the Discord server. And you still have time this week to continue developing your ideas and initial topics and keywords. Then we're going to move into finding some specific sources, newspaper articles, peer-reviewed scholarly articles, etc. We're going to work on establishing a resource tracking system. I'm going to provide you with a research log that you're going to complete for homework 2.1. We're going to work to evaluate those sources as we identify them and discover which are credible, reliable, accurate, authoritative, etc. And as we go through the research process, the idea is not that we, magically discover, like as in a treasure hunt, kind of exactly what we were looking for, but rather that we clarify our understanding, that our curiosity guides us in a direction that otherwise we might not have known to go in. So I want to be really clear here that this project, this research project, is not an argumentative essay. Ultimately, it is not a position paper or an opinion piece. You are not ultimately arguing for one perspective on an issue. So again, you're not trying to discover all of the 8 sources that back up something that you already think, but rather we're intending to use this research process as a way to genuinely explore and discover with curiosity more information than we previously had to develop a fuller picture of an issue of concern to us all. So that's what we have ahead of us. A really, to me, exciting endeavor. A research process is one that is absolutely a transferable skill that you'll be able to apply in other areas, whether you are in business and you are doing competitor research, whether you are in marketing or advertising, whether you are in the sciences or the humanities. This is an essential skill of communication and in the academic field. And so let's get to it. Let me show you the project to description on the course website. Okay, so here we are over on the Canvas course website. On the home page, you can see our theme. I would remind you, as you are narrowing your course topic this unit, please do consider and make sure that you're focusing on issue, as so many do, that relate to this course theme this semester of independence, interdependence, and community. Arguably, any of these topics that we've already seen you discussing on Discord are going to be relating to this course theme. So the idea of COVID policies on UT's campus, for example, of course, involved individual independent behaviors and actions and their influence on the community as a whole. So keep this course theme in mind. In order to check out the Project 2 assignment, click over here on the left-hand side under modules. I'll move my head out of the way. You'll see, here's where you found your weekly video, which isn't posted yet because I'm recording it. Here's where you'll find your Chapter 12 reading assignment for this week. There you go. That's a little bit easier for you to see. Unit 1, we finished up analyzing the rhetorical situation about water quality, and here we are getting started on Unit 2. So we're going to be returning to each of these links throughout the day today, but just to preview, we're going to take a look at the description for Project 2 as a whole. The instructions there, or the title, is to rhetorically analyze a local argument, as I already said. We're going to discuss this week Homework 2.1, conducting library research, which is due next Monday. And this really important link you're going to want to return to, the Rhetoric 306 UT Library Research Guide, created for you all individually, personally, by the Rhetoric 306 librarians at UT. The one other thing that I'll show you over here on the Canvas course website is under the discussions tab. If you click there, this is also where you're going to find our discussion post 2, possible issues for Project 2. This is just creating a landing place on our Canvas course website as opposed to in Discord for those possible issues for Project 2. So you can go ahead and include 3 possible issues you might research for Project 2 as you continue clarifying your ideas and brainstorming, and get that up by Friday if you could. That would be wonderful. 1 point possible for that discussion. Okay, so back to the Project 2 description under modules and Unit 2 to give us a sense of where we're headed. So Project 2, again, asks us to examine a set of related texts. This time, you are compiling your own set of 8 to 10 related texts around a controversy related to our course theme. These 8 texts are in the following categories, as I already mentioned. In your report, which is 1,000 to 1,500 words long, same as Project 1, notice, not a significant increase or anything in the length, obviously a difference in the document set, but you'll see some differences in the instructions here as well. You're going to be defining a controversy. What is at stake? Who are the stakeholders? How are they involved in and affected by your issue? Policing on UT campus, for example, as some folks were interested in on the Discord server, you would want to do some research into the history, into who is involved, important events and figures, in order to define, clarify, illustrate, describe the controversy, what is going on. You will evaluate the purposes of your sources using guidance, as you're going to see in Chapter 12, and then rather than focusing on one text in depth like you did for Project 1, for Project 2, you are selecting 3 of the sources in order to rhetorically analyze them, as we'll discuss next week more carefully as we look at Nicotra's Chapter 3. So hang in there for next week as we get more in-depth about how to rhetorically analyze those specific texts. For this week, we're going to work on finding some of those texts for you. We are going to continue practicing in MLA citation style, and we are going to list all 8 of our sources at least in a works cited section. So that gives you a sense of where we're headed, and again, this is several weeks from now. Let's go ahead and pause there, and I believe we are headed to the library next. So to get over to the library from here, from the Canvas course website, I'm going to show you how to navigate over there using our new Rhetoric 306 research guide. So click on modules, scroll down to Unit 2, and click on that link. And that will take you right to your custom page for Rhetoric 306, created by your very own Rhetoric 306 librarians. As you can see over here on the right-hand side, Elise and Z are available for you all to email, to schedule an appointment, to reach out. They are absolutely familiar with this course, specifically with the course content, with the projects, with the assignment instructions. And so absolutely please reach out to these wonderful professional librarians. You have their contact information, email, phone number, and you can feel free to go visit in person as well at the PCL at the main library. So let's go ahead and click through this wonderful research guide that they have created for us. I might need to move my head out of the way to give y'all best access. So to find the menu here, you're going to click on Help for Rhetoric 306 students, and you're going to see a drop-down menu here with essentially a wonderful chronological guide of step-by-step what you should be doing in order to complete the research process. So first things first, choose a topic. That is what we are asking you to do for discussion 2 as you brainstorm and list a few possible ideas that you could be interested in pursuing. But so folks have already started doing some of that on the Discord server, but now's your job to really put it into gear and start carefully and seriously considering narrowing your topic. You know, rather than, for example, you know, a topic like police reform, period, right? What about, you know, a really specific guided research project about the history of problematic interactions with police officers on the UT campus specifically? That's a really narrow topic. See where you can get there. Ways to get started just with some, you know, basic controversies, even just to browse, is to click on some of these links. Gale eBooks, Gale in Context, the Chronicle of Higher Education has specifically education related topics. If you click here on Gale in Context, Opposing Viewpoints, this has an excellent browsing section. Hang on one second as I get us signed in. So follow me over to that Gale Opposing Viewpoints. I'm going to get my head out of the way. And you can even just right below the search, don't even click anything in the search, just scroll down. And the landing page has issues of interest that you can scroll through. The US Census may interest you as it relates to, for example, funding in Austin specifically, bias, prejudice, and discrimination as it may apply on the UT campus, higher education, of course. Continue scrolling through and you can see just browse issues, as I said, based on topic, business and economics, health and medicine. So I encourage you to head over here. Again, this is the Gale Opposing Viewpoints database if you would like to just browse. So you can browse all 471 issues there, or again, up at the top, you can click on this light bulb icon and browse issues that way to give you some ideas. So some of the topics that you're interested in are already on this list. So if you are interested, for example, as many folks said they were in the abortion debate, just click through there and you can get a great overview, some historical information. Let me get my face out of the way. Sorry, it's hard for y'all to see. And so I just clicked through to that read more under the abortion topic in Gale opposing viewpoints online, and you can see a wonderful, just handy kind of introductory information about some of the different positions, some of the different stakeholders, some different events and figures who you could continue to research and look further in depth. These main ideas are also really helpful to give you some additional keywords to go and continue researching. So you can, within the Gale Opposing Viewpoints database, they have these great tools that allow you to download, send this to yourself, print it, get a link, or cite this information. So really quickly, to show you how to send this to yourself, you can email it to yourself or save to your Google Drive. I think these are so handy as research tools. And then click the Cite button here, and you can send yourself in whatever citation format you want the link to this citation information. So in MLA 9th edition, in APA, Chicago, Harvard, you can just click through, select that, and send that to yourself. You can export it to EasyBib, send it to your Google Drive, etc. This is so handy. What a wonderful tool. Okay, so that is helping us to browse essentially and to get ideas for our research. Now we want to really start to narrow our focus with as fulsome a list of keywords so that we can effectively and efficiently conduct our research process. So let's head into developing better keywords. Okay, so I've navigated back to the Rhetoric 306 research guide that the librarians created. Remember, we were just looking at and talking about choosing a topic. We were in and exploring the Gale and Context Opposing Viewpoints database. Now I want us to continue through this research process, this wonderful guide, and click next on brainstorming keywords. So what you're going to see on this page is a very informative video that the librarians have created, walking us through developing keywords for a topic around disability studies. So if you'd like to, you can go ahead and watch the librarian do a guided search and refine keywords with this video. I'm going to guide us over to this keyword tool. So if you all will follow me to this keyword tool, I'm going to invite you to complete this because ding, 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 everyone look here, this is really important. This keyword generator that we clicked through on the Rhetoric 306 librarian research guide is going to give you the first half of your homework assignment for homework 2.1. Okay, so follow along as we go through the steps here in generating search terms and hang with me, stay with me. What we ultimately are going to produce here through this keyword generator tool is going to be some of the answers for your homework 2.1. Okay, so stay with me. I'm going to walk you through a sample topic. This is probably not going to be your topic, but you will use your own initial topic in order to walk through this keyword generator. Okay, so you are going to follow through the steps on this form. You're going to enter your research topic below. You're going to limit the topic to one sentence that fully describes your research for now. Okay, we're in week 1 of our research project. And I am going to, here was the topic that I used for my last class, but let's try something different. Let's try COVID protocol on college campuses. Okay, that's what our initial topic is going to be in this example project 2 that I'm imagining. So then I clicked next, and we have the next instructions tell us We have our research topic, COVID protocol on college campuses. Now it asks us to identify 2 key concepts within the research topic. Each key concept might be 1 or 2 words. So, for example, if your research topic was effects of media on women's body image, you might have key concepts such as media, women, and body image. In my case, if COVID protocol on college campuses is my research topic, then I might also want to mention coronavirus as opposed to COVID, right? So coronavirus, I might want to mention university or college. I'll put that here. And I might want to list policies or laws. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and click next. Now, so with these key concepts, coronavirus, university or college, and policies or laws, we are going to want to generate even more potential keywords. Because a really important point here, and I'll put my face on here for just a moment to make this point, the reason why we're going through this keyword generator in order to generate as many keywords as we can is because once we get into these library databases, as you're going to see, the algorithms are very, very literal. They're not as flexible and forgiving as a Google search is. So on Google, you're used to just typing in, how does da-da-da work, right? Kind of how we say it. But the library databases are very, very literal, and they are going to provide you with results using the specific search terms that you typed. So, for example, if I type coronavirus university laws, well, they're not going to give me results that talk about COVID college policies. Okay, so that's why we are listing synonyms. We are trying to think more broadly, and we're trying to think more narrowly using our key concepts. So we're going to try to list at least 1 related search term for each of your key concepts. So for our first key concept, coronavirus, some additional search terms could be respiratory virus, it could be pneumonia, it could be death, it could be symptoms. Okay. Those are just a number of concepts that are coming to mind as I'm brainstorming. Go ahead and click through to next. We're going to do the same thing for our other key terms. So our second key concept is university or college. We're thinking about class size, about social distancing, about dorms. Click next. Same thing with our last search term for policies or laws. We're going to think about masking, we're going to think about distancing, we're going to think about online education, etc. Okay? Now, here's the big payoff. Your search terms. Once you have walked through this keyword generator, you are going to get this handy dandy chart that has your topic indicated at the top, that you're interested in COVID protocol on college campuses. You've got key concepts and you've got related search terms already produced right there for you. Now, what you do with this is you're going to copy and paste this and grab it and bring it over to your homework 2.1 assignment. So follow me over there. So I'm back over here in the Canvas course website, scrolling down to Unit 2, and here's your homework 2.1 assignment. We're trying to find where to put that handy dandy table that you just created using the keyword generator. And so here's your homework 2.1 assignment, which is to conduct some library research. We're well on our way already. You're going to use this research log to write down your initial topic and your keywords. So let's go ahead and click through to the research log and see what that looks like. You're going to land on a page that looks like this. a UT library page again, this one giving you instructions for the research log, which you'll scroll down and see appearing. Let me adjust the screen a little bit so we can see that a little bigger. Hang on. Okay, thanks for bearing with me. I just got that research log to show up a little bigger there on your screen. So here is what your homework 2.1 is, your research log assignment. Turn your topic into keywords and a search. Well, guess what? You just did this. You have your topic, you have key concepts, you have broader, narrower, and related terms. You can literally just copy and paste what we just created from that keyword generator tool and plop it in here, and you've got the first half of your homework 2.1 completed. Now, for the second half of your homework 2.1, you're going to do some searches and record the database you were using, some search terms that allowed you to be successful, and some citations that you found. So let's go ahead and get back into the library research guide and into the library databases and conduct some of these searches. Okay, so I am back on the Rhetoric 306 research guide. Remember, we've been following this guide along through the steps of starting our research process. We chose a topic. We generated some keywords there. I'm going to click back into brainstorming keywords for Rhetoric 306 because underneath that keyword tool that we used earlier, if you keep scrolling down on this same page, underneath that video, which again I encourage you to watch just to get an example, a model of another great search, you will see search tips here at the bottom of the page. I'm going to get myself out of the way so that you can see these 3 really important ways to search the library website that are indicated here to you first. The first is the library all-in-one search. This is from the library homepage. So you're going to access that from www.lib.utexas.edu. And just on the initial home page, on the landing page, you will type keywords from your keyword generator tool that you came up with and see what you get. And then I'm also going to preview for you quickly a newspaper search, which is going to appear at the very bottom of the library's all-in-one search. And so you'll be able to access newspapers on the library website. This is so awesome, y'all, because newspapers, cost money. There are subscriptions required in order to read these materials, but a wonderful perk of signing in and using UT's library website and their online databases is that you have access to all of these. The Washington Post, the New York Times, you can read the daily papers and save your dollars. You don't have to pay for any news subscription services, and you can access them directly through the UT libraries. And then last but not least, I'm going to show you today how to access the UT library databases, including one of my favorite, Academic Search Complete. So let's do those 3 types of, there we go. Let's do those 3 types of searches now. Meet me over at the library website. Okay, here I am, lib.utexas.edu. I'm on the home page of the University of Texas Libraries. Welcome. Here is that all-in-one search. So you can go ahead and click in there and you can get searching using some of those initial topics that you came up with. So again, let's see, today we have tried already from some of your topics from Discord, we've tried abortion, we've tried COVID policies. Let's look into campus policing. So I'm just going to type in campus policing and click search. And this is going to show me as it says here, everything except really significantly, not newspapers yet. So stay with me and I'll show you how to access those newspapers. To view all results, it says sign in. Of course, I'm going to do that. You should too. Again, this will allow you to get access to all of those materials, full text, PDF that we have licenses for from the University of Texas Library. So using just those key terms, campus policing, I get 16,883 results. And you can just quickly scroll through and get a sense of course, we can't possibly go through all of these results, but you can just browse and see what types of materials come up. A peer-reviewed piece from the Harvard Law Review, a book published in 2013, more articles from English language notes from Police Quarterly, more books. We've got online available content, an article from Police Practice and Research, a journal called Campus Security Report. We have a lot of great options coming up already. We can click through and read through any of these as we're interested in them. But I just wanted to show you here at the bottom of that initial all-in-one search is where you're going to see the option to search newspapers. So if you click there, it's going to show you now, rather than showing you books and articles, it's going to be showing you newspaper results from the Washington Post, for example, The Racist Roots of Campus Policing by Eddie Cole, published in 2021. We've got an article from The Guardian, published in 2020, etc. Viewpoint pieces from the Chicago Tribune and researched information pieces as well. So this gives you a sense, as we're scrolling through, the kind of breadth of coverage across the globe, actually. The Times of India, the Austin American-Statesman, an article from 2019 about the UT police chief, etc. Okay, lots of great things that you can find on the library website. I want to click onto just any one of these to show you some of the tools that you can use to send these to yourself, the citations, etc. So you're going to see an available online button if you can actually just click through and read this piece online. It will show you what databases have these available. So here's that Gale and Context Opposing Viewpoints that we were looking at earlier anyway. And so that's where, again, you're going to be able to email it to yourself. There it is, full text. You can read through it, save it to Drive, email it to yourself, download it, and of course, send yourself the citation right here using the tools at the top. Racist Roots of Campus Policing in MLA 9th edition, APA, or whatever citation style you would like. Okay, so we have talked about the all-in-one homepage search on the library website. We've talked about the newspaper search. Now let's head over to the databases, and in particular, Academic Search Complete. So meet me over again at the library website. What if I click here? Yeah, that'll do it. So let's go back to the results list, but this time, instead of searching in newspapers, we're gonna go back to library search. And in fact, I just wanna go to the home page. Follow me back to the home page, because there is a link right here on the home page for databases. If you click there, we've got a huge list of databases available, so you can search A to Z by topic if you're interested, or just go straight to A's and down to Academic Search Complete, which is a very popular and comprehensive database, which librarians are going to suggest you get started with. So just go ahead and click into Academic Search Complete. So I want to be clear about what a database is and how this is different from that initial all-in-one search. So that all-in-one search on the library website is looking for the library's holdings of books, magazines, and articles that the library holds, right? It's essentially a library catalog. And then I showed you where to find specifically the newspapers. So you can think of just like the library as a physical space with rooms for different types of materials, the reference room, architecture library, right? You can think physically about different spaces for different types of materials. Well, the same thing applies in digital spaces as well. And a database is essentially a digital room containing particular types of materials. And these are all separate, right? The UT library has access to all of them, but you need to go into each individual room to start looking around. So you are not typically going to find the results that you can access directly through Academic Search Complete. You're not going to see those on the all-in-one search by itself. So that's why we need to know a few different places to look, a few different rooms to go in to explore, if you will. So we are inside the Academic Search Complete database right now, and we can use some of our keywords from our keyword generator tool here to search again. So I want to specifically, how about if I do now not just policing on campus, but specifically University of Texas. Yeah, let's say at Austin. Do we want, yeah, let's do at Austin. And I put that in quotation marks because that is going to search exactly for that phrase, which actually is going to be pretty limiting. We might need to delete the at Austin part ultimately to get more results, but let's see. And I'm going to put police or policing. So any article that has police or policing. Let's see what comes up. So we've got 118 results, which is awesome compared to the 15,000 that we had on our other search results, right? We were never going to be able to go through these. 118, we actually potentially could browse if we were interested. So this is good. We have a nice narrow field, and let's see if any of these are relevant. We've got border policing, a history of enforcement and evasion in North America, a couple of results for that. Murder mystery, police effectiveness. I'm noticing these dates, 2017. This one is more recent, 2021. Technologies of crime prediction, the reception of algorithms in policing and criminal courts. That's interesting. What I was initially thinking was that some of these dates are a little bit outdated, and so I'm interested in filtering to get more recent information. So I clicked on advanced search, and you can filter here by just, if you only want to see full text, if you only want to see scholarly or peer-reviewed journals. So remember, you have 2 that are required for your Project 2 assignment, 2 scholarly or peer-reviewed journals. So this is a good place to find them in the Academic Search Complete databases. And then you can limit by publication date. So say I only want to read articles that have been published after 2019, for example. Let's go ahead and scroll down here to the bottom and click save all of these, search all of the, using all of those filters. And now we've gone down to just 5. 5 that were recently published that you can read in full text. This is a much more reasonable list of results. Can we talk about race? From the Howard Journal of Communications in 2020 with some wonderful images as well. You can access in PDF full text. We have an article from the Child Abuse Review, from the Latin American Research Review, etc. Okay, so that gave us a good sense. You know, again, I'm sure this isn't the topic you chose, but I was just walking through some sample topics to show you how to access those resources on the library website. So let's head back over to the slides and just review what we've talked about today and make sure you're all set up for this week. Okay, y'all, so a few key terms you're going to discover in your reading from chapter 12 of Becoming Rhetorical this week. Research, which we've discussed in depth today, the process of discovering the conversation and clarifying your position. If you think you already have a really strong understanding or really strong position on an issue, I'll encourage you to reconsider and really challenge yourself during this research process to learn something new, to discover something about stakeholders that you previously hadn't understood before. You're going to see Nikotra talk about zero drafts, which are low stakes ways essentially to keep writing during your research process. So homework 2.1, I think, is a zero draft. And in any case, having a way to stay organized, to annotate your sources, and to keep track of your research as you're working. I'll encourage you all to set up a folder online, to have a Google Drive folder of Project 2 resource ideas, and just keep dumping everything in there to keep track of it all. You'll also see, if you do go in to that Rhetoric 306 research guide that the librarians put together in that video, you'll see the librarian with a couple of other ideas for organizing your materials, even by pulling up a notes page on your screen while you're researching as well. Also, pay attention, please, to the difference between direct quotation, summary, and paraphrase. We're going to be working more with those distinctions next week. So just a review about the great resources we looked at during this video and instructions for moving ahead this week. We looked at the wonderful UT Library resources, and you're going to use those this week to help clarify your topic, brainstorm topics, generate keywords, and get started on your research for Project 2. So do complete that How to Generate Keywords tutorial. Email it to yourself as the first half of that Homework 2.1 assignment, and email it to me to let me know that you've done it as well. You'll see as you keep clicking through that tutorial the place where you can email it at the end. Compare a Google search to that library all-in-one search. Complete the newspaper search, and start exploring with the databases with Academic Search Complete, for example. We'll talk a lot more about databases next week as well. A couple of figures from chapter 12 to preview that you'll see during your reading that I just want to point out to you is these great charts that help to clarify the use and purposes of various types of sources. All of these are available for you all as appropriate for Project 2. If you want to look into interviews, surveys, archival documents, dictionary may or may not be appropriate for you there. Newspaper articles, of course, magazine feature articles for more information. And then we'll also be getting into blogs, scholarly, peer-reviewed articles, and opinion pieces as well. Let's head into our next slide and make sure we are all set up for next time. Okay, folks, so for next time, this week's work is over here on the right-hand side of your slide. Sign up for peer review of Project 1 on the Discord server. Go ahead and match up with other folks whose work you can exchange, read, share feedback, and get that great additional set of eyes, that great resource. Your submission for Project 1 is set to unlimited submissions, so once you have that peer review feedback, you can feel free to incorporate it into a revision and resubmit that Project 1. Okay, moving forward for Project 2, for our upcoming research unit, please read Becoming Rhetorical Chapter 12 about the research process. You've got 2 very short assignments to complete on the Canvas course website. Discussion 2, if you could go ahead and have that posted by Friday, that would be excellent. So that gives your peers a couple more days to engage with you on the discussion board and to get some ideas themselves for potential topics for Project 2. So Discussion 2, post your Project 2 topics there on the Canvas course website by Friday, and then homework 2.1 by next Monday. Please have that research log posted with your keywords you generated using the keyword generator tool, and then guiding us through your first initial searches, whether that's on the library all-in-one page, the newspaper page, Gale and Context Opposing Viewpoints, or the Academic Search Complete database. Reach out to me with any questions and concerns this week. Come and say hi during office hours, or send me an email, jsapio@utexas.edu, and I'll be happy to set up an appointment to meet at a time of your convenience. Thank you all so much for watching the video this week, and I look forward to reading your Project 1s as those revisions come in, and I look forward to seeing your great topics for Project 2. Good luck on your work this week. We'll see you next time.